I want to read you a passage I just read today in Robert Greene's Daily Laws. It's exactly what I talk about when I say meditate because it's hard. It's not easy, and that's the reason we do it. So his for February 14th is move toward resistance. By nature, we humans shrink from anything that seems possibly painful or overtly difficult. We bring this natural tendency to our practice of any skill. Once we grow adept at some aspect of the skill, generally one that comes more easily to us, we prefer to practice this element over and over. Our skill becomes lopsided as we avoid our weaknesses. This is the path of amateurs. To attain mastery, you must adopt what we shall call resistance practice. The practice is simple. You go in the opposite direction of all your natural tendencies when it comes to practice. First, you resist the temptation to be nice to yourself. You become your own worst critic. You see your work as though through the eyes of others. You recognize your weaknesses, precisely the elements you are not good at. Those are the aspects you give precedence to in your practice. You find a kind of perverse pleasure in moving past the pain this might bring. Second, you resist the lure of easing up on your focus. You train yourself to concentrate and practice with double the intensity, as if it were the real thing times two. In devising your own routines, you become as creative as possible. In this way, you develop your own standards for excellence, generally higher than those of others. Soon enough, you'll see the results of such practice, and others will marvel at the apparent ease in which you accomplish those deeds, or your deeds. So the daily law is invent exercises that work upon your weaknesses. Give yourself arbitrary deadlines to meet certain standards, constantly pushing yourself past perceived limits. I love that. I often in this business run across people who identify weaknesses and automatically means that they never can improve on them. Now, we do want to capitalize on our strengths, right? But when a weakness is holding us back from accomplishing something, it's something we need to work on. I see this all the time in things like meditation. So somebody that struggles with being mindful, that say maybe somebody with ADHD, they have a hard time focusing on one task. So the natural exercise for that is meditation. Another exercise for that is a Pomodoro technique, where you set a timer and you try to work as focused as possible for that amount of time, and then you give yourself a break when you're done, increasing that time over time, so as you build the skill. Or just simply trying to read a book. You ever read a book and get down to the bottom of the page and realize you were completely thinking about something else? And so if you have the inability to pay attention to something, the answer is not to continue not paying attention to things. The answer is to exercise your ability to pay attention. If you can't, run, then you start walking until you build up the cardio capacity to run. So with any skill, whether it's your skill to focus, your athletic skill, or your skill in a specific area in your profession, or just something that you would like to try to do better, the answer is always to identify what you're weak in and work on that doubly hard to try to improve that weakness. So don't always get in the habit of bouncing from thing to thing as soon as it gets hard. Try to improve on the weaknesses you have and see what those results may end up being like. It could be really good. Don't take this as a way to beat yourself up or go in that direction that criticizing myself and being judgmental. That's a whole different thing. This is just being honest about what you're weak in and resolving it, working on it, improving, which is what all of this is about. All right, keep moving forward. Bye.